Good evening, friends. So, tomorrow we will be starting our unit on division. Tonight you're going to be taking some notes on some key division terms that will be helpful to you as we move forward with our division unit. So, for tonight, if you will go ahead and put your date in the top right corner, note that your date may be different than mine. That is okay. Make sure that you're putting today's date on your paper. Go ahead and write your title, which tonight is division terms, and our learning goal. Our learning goal for tonight is I can identify key division terms. I also understand and can apply the meanings of the key terms to division strategies. Go ahead and pause your video here so that you have time to write down all of the important information. Restart your video when you're ready to move on. All right, so tonight we're going to be using a tip chart. In the tip chart, you're going to write your term in the first column, the information that goes with that term, and a picture that describes your information. I like to have my term column be a little bit smaller and my information and picture columns a little larger so that I have enough room to put in the information that I need to put in. Tonight, our first term is divide. So, go ahead and write divide down as your first term. Remember that you can stop the video at any point to take down the notes that you need to. So, let's go ahead and get started. Divide is one of the most important words with this unit, as that is what we are going to be doing. We're going to be learning a lot of different strategies to divide. In general, though, what you're going to be doing is separating into equal parts. So to divide is to separate a number into equal parts. Separate a number into equal parts. For my picture, I am going to show 9 divided by 3 equals 3. And I'll show you what that looks like with a base 10 model. So, we know that when we have ones, we're just going to use our cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I need to divide into 3 equal groups. Well, if I'm looking at my picture, I can see that I can make 1, 2, 3, a group. 1, 2, 3, a group. And 1, 2, 3, a group. I have made 3 equal groups of 3. Remember that you may pause your video whenever you need to catch up. We're going to go ahead and move on to our second term, which is divide. Sorry, our second term is not divide. We just did divide. Our second term is dividend. In a division equation, the dividend is the number that is being divided. The number that is being divided. And we know from our term divide that that is the number that we're going to separate into equal groups. So for my picture, I'm going to draw a division problem, which is 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Which number in 9 divided by 3 equals 3 is being divided? If you said 9, you would be correct. 9 is the number that is being split up into 3 equal groups. So 9 is our dividend. 9 is our dividend. All right, our term number 3 is going to be divisor. Divisor. The divisor in a division equation is the number that is doing the dividing. The number that is doing the dividing. The number that is doing the dividing. So back to our equation of 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Which number would be our divisor? If you said 3, you would be correct. Now, it would be this first 3, not the second 3. Ms. Pickrell did not choose a good example to draw for clarity. However, we are talking about this 3, and we know that because when we read this equation, we say 9 divided by 3. So 3 is doing the dividing. So 3 would be the divisor. All right. Our fourth term is quotient. Quotient. So, in math, we use different words for our answer in equations. When we are dividing, we use the word quotient to identify the answer in a division equation. So, quotient is the answer in a division division equation. Division equation. So again, back to our example of 9 divided by 3 equals 3, our quotient would be the number 3 that comes after the equal sign. Because remember that after the equal is our answer. So that is going to be our quotient. Quotient. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. All right. The last word that we're going to write is remainder. Now, we're not going to focus too much on remainders right now, but it is an important term that I want us to go ahead and write down. We will come back to remainders after we have practiced some division without remainders. So, remainders. Now, we can use our knowledge of that word remainder to help us figure out what it might mean in math. So, if Ms. Pickrell were to say that you are the only one remaining in the classroom, that would mean that you are the only one that's left behind. A remainder is the amount that is left over after a division equation that cannot be split equally. So, remainder is the amount left over that cannot be split equally. The amount left over that cannot be split equally. So, in our example of 9 divided by 3, everything worked out pretty. Everyone had a home. No one was left out. If I make 3 groups, and I tally up to 9, I will fill each group with the same amount. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each group has exactly 3 tally marks. Now, that does not always work out that way. So, for example, if we were to be dividing 10 by 3, it would look a little something like this. I have 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to split this number 10 into 3 equal groups. So let's count and see if we can do that. 1, 2, 3. So far, so good. 4, 5, 6. So far, so good. I can probably split some more. 7, 8, 9. All right, so far every group has 3, but I'm at the number 9, and I'm only going to 10, which means I only have 1 more that I need to distribute into an equal group. If I did that, this box would have 4, and that would get me to 10, but everyone else would only have 3. And that does not work because remember that division is splitting into equal groups. So here I do not have equal groups. I have one group with 4 and 2 groups with 3. We don't want that. So we're going to get rid of this guy here and get our groups back to equal groups. So now every group has 3. However, I'm not at 10 yet. I'm only at 9. So I have a remainder, we're going to identify that with an R, of 1. So my answer to the division equation, 10 divided by 3 equals 1, 2, 3. There's 3 in each group, with a remainder of 1 left over. So that is all that you need to have in your notebook for tonight. Tomorrow we'll be digging into these terms a little bit deeper and trying to apply our knowledge of these terms to division equations. Remember that if you have any questions, to go ahead and write them down in your math notebook so that we can talk about them together tomorrow. Have a great night.